So as you guys know, I did a wolf hunt with Kyler Nelson, got a couple of wolves down. He has mailed me the skulls. They're still fresh. Just bagged them and put them in the mail, and I think they just showed up at the door. So let's see what we got here. Nice frosty 40 bull day. And this looks like it's them. Ooh, what's we have here? Looks like the package may have leaked a little, but fortunately for me, Canada Post put it in this nice little bag and apologized for my wolf skulls leaking. The box is pretty wet. I'm gonna put that outside. It's frozen solid now, but must have melted out in the mail processing facility. I'm gonna take this out and we'll open that up outside a little bit later on here. Okay, so got these skulls unpacked. Here's the one. I just got them sitting, but just on top of the loose steel here. And the other one I got in the pail ready to go for the spring. It's 40 below right now, so they're frozen rock hard. But basically, come spring, we'll be getting these guys put in buckets and start to soak them, dethaw them. Right now, there's no point. It's just way too cold. So anyways, there they are. They were pretty soggy when I got them, but yeah, hopefully they'll be good to go, and we'll start these as soon as we can in the spring. All right, it's very, very, very early in the spring here. I just put these wolf skulls into our pails of water and seal the lid up on there and just let them rot out for a few weeks. We'll change the water. That's going to be pretty slow at the beginning here. There's still snow on the ground, but it is warming up, and we're getting melting temperatures here almost every day now, so that's the perfect time to start rotting these out. The water will cool off, but this will give these guys a chance to thaw out here and start rotting, and the more time we can get them in the pail, the better. So anyways, we'll check back here in a couple weeks. Okay, so it's late spring, early summer. I just changed the water out on these guys. I just wanted to give you guys a bit of an update. These wolf skulls have come very, very clean. Look at that. It's just excellent. Look at the nose. Perfect nasal bones. There's a little tiny bit of material left on this, but I mean, it's 90-95% of the way there. Here is a broken off tooth. This was damaged. The wolf had done this himself. Was broken when we had killed the wolf. Now, the one thing I'm going to say is you need to be very careful when you're changing the water out in between, because I lost this front tooth. I'm still looking for it. I've still got hope that I can find it. I have found some bone fragments that I thought maybe were teeth, maybe weren't, I don't know. I don't think they are, but worst case scenario, I might have to get a piece of bone in the Dremel and fashion a tooth to replace that. I hope I don't have to, but I'm going to look for the actual tooth here pretty hard. Can only be in a certain area because I changed the water up in the same area, but I'd actually lost about 4 teeth out of this, and I found 3 of them, so. But these wolves have come really clean. Now, I will say the one with the black bucket has done the process about 30% faster. So I'm going to spray this one black for the next time I do something. Now this wolf, this is a smaller one than the other one, but I never lost any teeth on him. Like I said, the bucket wasn't painted black, and there's still some material there, but It's getting pretty warm out now. It's, like I said, early summer, so I think all that will come out pretty quick. But once again, like, these nasal bones are just perfect. Exactly how I like them anyway. And this skull, because the water hasn't been as warm, it's still got a ways to go yet, but it's good. It's a little greasier than the other one because the pail hasn't been as warm. But it's coming. It won't be long. A couple weeks, I think, will be all it needs. Then you can see the jaw on the bottom of the pail. Basically all the flesh is off of it. There's a little bit left, but nothing significant. So I'm just going to leave that guy back down in there. We'll just cover him up and check back in a couple weeks. Alright, we've got the wolf skull out of our water. I actually put a little Dawn in here for the last little bit just to help it degrease a bit, and interesting, a lot of slime and things came out, but it's looking pretty clean. This is just out of the rot water. See, there's no teeth. Came out, turned out really well. It's fairly white. Now, as you notice, this is all the teeth. On a ungulate like a deer or moose, you don't really lose teeth, or not many anyways, but on these predators, especially the wolves and coyotes and things like that, you lose a lot. Teeth, you see, here's all the holes. Yes, I did double check a couple times to make sure I hadn't lost any. Seeing these jaw bones, you know, there's only one tooth left in there and it's not coming out, that guy. This one, a couple came out, but you always lose the fangs or the canines, whatever they call them. But yeah, a lot of teeth came out. So now the next thing I'm going to do to finish degreasing this, I'm going to be putting it into my little pail of acetone. This works incredibly well. You want to put acetone either in a steel pail where it won't react, or a glass jar. Do not put it in plastic because it will melt the plastic. And I'm just going to submerge it. Now this stuff is extremely flammable. I'm not recommending this to anybody at home. This is a good way to burn your house down, so do not do this. Some professional guys do it. I know the guy in Whitebone Creations, he does this as well for certain things. If you can fully submerge it, it's a really good way to degrease it. What it does is the acetone liquefies the oils in the bone, lets them migrate out naturally. And then after you do this, the next thing you would do is you'd put it back into some soapy water, because acetone's an oil and gas product, so it slightly yellows the bone. But when you put it in the soap and water after, it will whiten it right back up. And then you can either use peroxide to make it super white, or just leave it the natural bone color. So I like the natural bone color. I used to like the super white. Now the next question is, what do we do with all these teeth? Well, especially these canines here, they got a big root in them, and they actually, teeth actually have a little bit of grease in them as well. So I'm just going to put them in the acetone, and you know, ideally you don't actually need to leave it in acetone not terribly long, but I'm going to leave this in here maybe a couple weeks. And there's actually enough room. I could put both wolf skulls in, but the reason I'm not is because with all these teeth I would never be able to figure out what tooth belonged to what wolf. So I'm going to keep them separate. They're both the skulls are fully clean at this point. I'm just going to leave the other one though in some water till this one is degreased, and then I'll pull it out, switch it. If I was doing this commercially, I'd have a few buckets on the go, but since this is just for myself, and I do it for the odd guy here and there that asks for some help, I'm just going to. All right, that's all the teeth in there. You can see skull is pretty white already. Now, when I put it in there, you might be thinking, well, this looks pretty white, looks degreased. And I have been soaking this for a long time, but these predator skulls can trick you, and I'm just going to show you one more piece I'm going to put in here. So this is the swizzle stick off a black bear, and when I finished it originally, this thing was chalk white, the whole thing was white, but now you can see the grease is actually starting to come out of it. Bears are super greasy to start with, so I'm going to put this back in to the pot here and see if I can get all that grease to come out as well. Alright. I'm suspecting that'll look a lot better when it comes out. So I'm just going to put this lid on, and we'll come back and check this thing in a couple weeks. Okay, just a little update on the wolf. So I pulled the skull out of the acetone and put it in here. Just some fresh water. I don't have the pail filled right up. I'm going to get the rest of the teeth out and put them in there, fill it up with some soap and water, and this will just help get any acetone off the bone, because acetone is an oil-based product. Although it liquefies fat and draws it out, it will kind of leave your skull with a yellowy tinge. So after I'm done the degreasing acetone process, put it back into the soap and Dawn dish soap and water for a little bit, and that will whiten right up, and this thing will be brilliant white when we come out. Just show you how white this got already. Now once this dries, it'll even look whiter, but this has not been peroxided at all. This is just incredible how white you can get these skulls with nothing but maceration. Okay, I'm just going to leave that in there. I'll get these out, and then the next thing I'm going to do is drop our second wolf skull in the acetone and get that degreased. Alright, I got all of the little bone, or the teeth and whatnot, dumped them in there. Those teeth are unbelievably white coming out of that acetone. But I just wanted to show you guys all the stuff down there that looks like sand or little granular dirt. That's actually fat that's coming out of the bone and dissolved out. Now it is now in the bottom. There's a swizzle stick from a bear I'm degreasing. And anyways, it's all dissolved fat. At the end of the season, I'm going to put all of that acetone back in the original containers, and I'll strain all that stuff out, so we'll just have pure acetone for next year. But now I'm going to fill this up, put a little Dawn dish soap in there again just to get the acetone off. We'll let this sit for a couple days, rinse it all off, and it'll be done. And here's just the second wolf that we're doing. I just wanted to show you, this has been sitting in the water for a couple weeks. Notice the water's not cloudy at all. Means there's nothing left for it to rot. So we'll just put that in degreasing solution. Even just sitting in the water, it's fairly white, but that degreasing will really help give this skull longevity in terms of not getting grease stained. So, and then in here we've got the teeth for this wolf that never fell out. This is a younger wolf. The older one with the bigger jaw and whatnot, all the teeth came out. But this one, maybe half as many teeth came out, so this is a little smaller one. So we'll go ahead and transfer. We'll let this one dry a little bit, and then we'll put it into the acetone next. Okay, so I just let the water on this dry off, so I'm going to put it in the acetone now. This is the second wolf. And look, this came fairly clean already just with the water treatment. Alright, and now here's the teeth. The reason I put these in the acetone too is because the roots go up into the teeth, so I just want to make sure that if there's any grease from any of that, it comes out. It doesn't hurt them either way. Just make sure you don't lose any. And we'll put the lid on that. Put the pail apart, everything's submerged. This is about the best way I've ever found to degrease an animal. It's already pretty white. and just going to show you. Now here's a black bear, and I just had this in the degreaser. This bear is about 7 years old, and it was getting really stained, but I've never put this in acetone before. This is how clean it got. Really good. This is no peroxide whatsoever. This is just acetone. So pretty happy. Just got to glue the jaw and the teeth back in, but this bear's never been peroxided, and it's just super white. So pretty tough to get bears that degreased. So I think for these predator skulls, this acetone is definitely the way to go. Okay, I just pulled the wolf out of the water here, put all the teeth back into the right slots. At least I think they are. I will double check that before I glue them all in, but just wanted to make sure that they were all going to fit. And here's one broken tooth, but I knew that was the case when I first got this wolf. So we'll just let that air dry for 2-3 days, get nice and dry. We'll glue the teeth in with either some epoxy or some crazy glue, and then the next step will be to set the jaw at the opening that we want.